Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders who are Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Bashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Yakaba from Plaintables Camp. The apostles going into that certain comedians are making fun of Israelites. I don't know what group he's talking about. It might be talking about ISUBK. Maybe talking about IUIC or another group. Yeah, let's listen to.
Right up to around here, listen to both comedians, and they sound very similar to each other. And this is, and then they also say, well, these guys are going around thinking that they're the Jews. We never said we were Jews. When you say Jew, we think of a Ashkenazi, a so-called white person. We never said we're the Jews. Sometimes we say real Jews, which is not even a word. We say we're Israelites. We're known for saying Israelites, not Jews. We don't call ourselves Jewish. We're Israelites. The word Jew goes back to the word Judah. That's one of the tribes. So we can't all be Jews. There's 12 tribes. Originally, there's 13 tribes. But, Anton Daniels, the Millionaire Morning Show. He's this Jake, and then he does videos, and he even got on the Israelites. You know, he pretty much said that they're on his corner yelling, they ain't got nothing going for them. And like I said, I believe that all these guys have received the script from the small hats. It's a campaign to put us in a negative light because this truth is coming out. So they need Jake to turn around. If Jake says these are not the people, then they can believe it more than white people, because Jake does not trust Edomites, what we call Edomites. But the ones of you that come up against this truth, you're gonna die over here in America. If you're in America, the best thing you can do, and for you guys that fell off, went back into the world, the best thing that you can do is just leave the country. Therefore, you won't get hit by missiles. But what's going to happen to you in another country? So you individuals that was in this truth at one time, you know, you fell out for whatever reason. Brother didn't look at you the wrong way. Brother borrowed money and you never got the money back, and then you went to council and the council cut your rank, or whatever the case may be. If you leave this truth, let's say you leave the main school, and you keep teaching his word. You never left the truth. You never left the truth. But the ones of you that have turned your back upon Luke 9:62. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to look it up. But Luke 9:62 is this precept that comes to mind. Another one is Hebrews 6, Hebrews 10. Another one is 2 Corinthians 5:11. Knowing the terrors of the Most High, we therefore persuade men. Because Paul was terrified of the Most High. That's why he was so diligent. Why? Because he went out there and did what he had to do. But when he died, when he went up in the spiritual realm, when he came back, he saw the majesty of the Most High, and he was fearful. What else? 2 Peter, what is that? Is it 2 Peter 2, verse 20? You can read the whole chapter, but 2 Peter 2, verse 20, 21, and 22. It speaks about, matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me go to some of these precepts. So look out for a campaign against the Hebrew Israelites. And like I said, I believe Bishop Nate sold out, because now they have a campaign where the IUIC call themselves Israelites or Hebrew Israelites. But if you're another group like GMS, IUCBK, Issachar-He, you guys are black Hebrew Israelites, but they're not black Hebrew Israelites. At first, I thought he referred to himself and all of us as black, but no, they're saying those black Hebrew Israelites, like they're not black Hebrew Israelites. That's a federal term, you know.
Yeah, I want to bring this precept out. It's Isaiah 28th chapter. It says, "Wherefore hear the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people, which is in Jerusalem." Now, this is a prophecy Isaiah spoke against the leaders of Israel in the ancient world. All right, I'm using this as the same example. You have groups like IUIC. You got different leaders, comedians, YouTube personalities that, let's look up rule, when they rule this people. Meaning either they're appointed by the government or they have some sort of following. Mashal. Have dominion, reign. That's like, yeah. To cause, to rule, to exercise dominion, sovereignty, control, like a leader. All right. Marshal. So I believe that's where you get marshal from. Let's look and see how it's used. Rule pretty much uses that ruled over. Thou shalt indeed reign over, govern. Thou shalt reign, rule. Look down here. It says to have power of doing anything. Rulers, princes, peer. Derive that of judging, forming an opinion. To think, to suppose, to think, to fit. To be over anything. All right. So some type of leader. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. I mean, they sold to Satan, to the devil. All right. Meaning that they chose to not follow the commandments. These are the ancient Israelites. And today, well, how do you do that today? You take money from Satan, from the little hats, or from whatever group, and you do and teach what they tell you to teach. All right. And in the sense of these comedians, the apostles and the brothers are saying, well, it look like these people are reading some type of script. All right. This is their grievance is not organic. Oh, you see us on the corner and they yelling, they ain't adding nothing. And, well, Babylon America's gonna be destroyed, dude. So get your little money while you can. All right. And you 100% focused on that, you're gonna be die to death of the uncircumcised. All right. You know, we work, we earn our money, but our heart ain't in it. You know. We know that we gonna have to throw our nets down, fishing nets down, and run when the persecution starts. So we're not like totally invested. Like if we were to lose something, we're like, oh well, we about to get the spiritual power. We about to get the kingdom of heaven. It was good while it lasted, you know. You got a nice car, got a nice lady, and then when it's time for to make us get us to the next transition, the persecution, the famines, and we lose all that stuff. Well, that's supposed to happen. That's great. That's how we know that we're moving to the next phase. So we don't have a covenant with death. We didn't make a league with the system, yeah, with the little hats or the government, all right, or you being paid to say a certain thing. We don't have that covenant. Our covenant is with the Holy Spirit, all right. That's where we get our information from, all right. Because ye have said, these false prophets, these comedians, these leaders or pseudo leaders, people that appear to be in front, all right, that rule this people, Jerusalem, all right, act as a spokesman, the heads, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death and hell, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made refuge. We have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Did they say that we're wasting our time, we're not adding anything, whatever the hell that guy said, all right, is a lie. The words that we preach is going to save Israelites, the elect Israelites' lives. All right, when the time of the famine, the time of the martial law comes, more disease may come. All right. We preach in Yahushua, crucified and resurrected. All right. Therefore, Isaiah 28:16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion a foundation, a stone, a tried stone. That's who we teach, and that's who we preach for salvation. All right. A tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. All right. So the elect are going to believe the words of the prophets, and we're not going to be taken by these insults, these lies, these jokes, made light of. What they're saying ain't really serious. It's funny to think they think they're the Jays. Like we're the Israelites from our various tribes. Let's finish the apostles' words.
That's a negative term for the Israelites. That's why even vocab Malone don't even. They already refer to himself and all of us as black, but no, they're saying those black Hebrew Israelites, like those, like they're not black Hebrew Israelites. That's a federal term. You know, that's a negative term for the Israelites. That's why even vocab Malone don't even say it. He said they don't like being called black Hebrew Israelites. Well, why is that? Because that's what the feds call us. Go to the project. What is it? Project Megiddo. Go to Google, put in Project Megiddo. It mentions really two groups: the white supremacists under various names, Christian identity, the Patriots, and all that. Now, the white Christian identity are so-called Edomites, because I don't know if all of them are Edomites, that believe that they're the direct descendants of the Israelites. And the other group is they say the black Hebrew Israelites. Why those? They didn't mention the Black Panthers, the Blackstone Rangers, the Young Lords, the Muslims. They didn't mention that because the focus on the Project Megiddo, and you can look it up. The very first opening of the book, it mentions the white supremacists, but it mentions Christian identity movement. Christian identity movement are so-called Europeans that say that they're the true descendants of the Israelites, of the 12 tribes of Israel. And the northern kingdom are various Edomites that live in various parts around the world, including the Europeans in America, the Europeans in the UK. They'll say, well, I don't know how to the tribe to set up, but they might say the people of the UK are the tribe of Benjamin, or the people of the United States.
Right, you got Edomites or Edomite-looking people that say the same thing that we say. You know, when it comes to they believe they are the biblical Israelites, but yet you got these people making jokes about us. So where are their jokes at? All right, the Project Megiddo, like the apostle said, it does focus on all of us, but these people that get up on these stages and make these jokes, they believe they have the ear to the culture, you know. So we know we believe it's planned, all right, that they're receiving some type of benefit because they're incorporating their propaganda in their jokes.
States or the tribe of Gad or whatever the case may be, and they're pretty much saying that the so-called Ashkenazis are really not the people, and we as so-called Israelites, what they call as black Israelites, we say the same thing but black people. So the focus for Project Megiddo, which was put together before the year 2000 because the computers were going to crash, because the computer's not going to read the year 2000, you know, but the computers never crashed. So, I mean, you can read that. And that shows you that the feds been watching the Hebrew Israelites, you know, long before YouTube. They knew about us. Now the world knows about us. So I believe, and I can't prove it, but I believe there's a campaign where certainly lawyer up these small hats, these JJs, they lawyer up, and they go to certain people and they'll say, look, here's $10,000, and here's a script. You study the script, you do your little comedy thing, you know. And I don't know if they tell these guys the whole truth, but the ones of you that come against this, you're really coming against the Most High.
Right. So it's a theory. Now they're doing it, whether it's organic or not. They still made that covenant. All right. They still made that covenant. All right. Now, as you know, faithful members, we have to be aware of such devices that are against us. Because when we go out and preach, well, if the culture is, or the word on the street is that, oh, you guys are, I saw some people make jokes about y'all. Y'all think y'all the Israelites. You know, they're gonna look at us like, well, like we're like a full of shit or something. All right? And we can simply, well, they're full of shit. I mean, they're 2/3 anyway. But you know, we're aware of that. You know, we're always watching, looking around, so we know like what these people are thinking before they even open their mouth. It's our job to know, all right, to be watchmen, all right. And I'm sure sooner than later, we'll see, they're gonna start making fun of specific things that are in the in the prophecies that we preach, in the law that we preach, and they might start accusing us of committing crimes. Well, they will. That's because they have false witnesses set up, whether it be through comedians or other groups. It says, and here's an example of it, Mark 14 and 55. Start here. And the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Yahushua to put him to death, and found none. For many bear false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together. So they all started saying different shit, and it didn't make no sense. So the Lord confused them. Look at that. See that? And that's going to happen again. That's going to happen again. And Yahushua rises up, you're going to receive their power, and they're not going to be able to have, authority over us. All right? To whom it may apply. And there arose certain and bear false witness against him, saying, we have heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. And he was talking about his body. All right. Which Yahushua, his father, was going to raise him up. All right. He's going to resurrect him from the dead. All right. And the thing about that is the temple eventually did get destroyed. All right. It did get destroyed. Where the hell is it right now? It's gone. It did actually get destroyed, but he wasn't talking about the actual physical temple. He was talking about his body. All right. It says, we have heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. But neither so did their witnesses agree together. All right. So back to the apostle a little bit more.
And the number one group on the earth is the men of GMS. And why is that? Because we teach 100% truth. I'll give you an example. The MOTB, the number one group that teaches that, are the men of GMS, starting from the leadership on down. All these other groups, well, Sakari teaches it too. I got to put that out there. Sakari teaches that the MOTB is the micro C-hip, as we say, the microchip. These other groups don't. HODC believes it, but they don't teach it. If you go to HODC and you put in microchip, you're not going to find one video where they mention the microchip. I think they did maybe 10 years ago, or whatever the case may be, however many years ago. So, like I said, you can watch the rest of this, but let me give you a couple of precepts about the ones of you that fell out. And the Most High is going to leave y'all behind. The ones of you Israelites that don't wake up to the fact that you're Israelites, especially if you heard this word and you fan your hand at it, you're marked for death by the Most High. So let me do this. Give you a couple of precepts. And mostly, I want to go right to the point. Okay, so it says here in the 4th verse, for it is impossible for those who were once enlightened, you came into this truth, you went out on the highways and the byways, you ate the roll, and have tasted the heavenly gift, meaning the gifts of prophecy, and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit. Now, what does that mean, made partakers of the Holy Spirit? It goes into St. John chapter 14, St. John chapter 16, where it speaks about the Comforter. The Comforter is not the Scriptures. The Comforter is the Scriptures, but the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, which is also known as the Comforter, which Yahushua said, I shall not leave you comfortless, I shall come to you. That the Spirit, it means that the Spirit is going to sup with you. When you read these Scriptures, you got teachers, Romans 10:13 on down. You got teachers that teach you the name, teach you the Scriptures, and then the Spirit starts to guide you. The Spirit starts to guide you in the Scriptures that we never even taught you. We've taught you men Scriptures that our heads never taught us. Y'all teach Scriptures that we never taught y'all. That's the Spirit working with you. And have tasted the good, like I said this yesterday at camp, that if I was back at the One West School under the 7, and I started teaching that the MOTB was, we weren't talking about the MOTB as much. It came up maybe once or twice. And I started saying, well, the MOTB is a micro C-hip. And they bring me to council and they said, look, you got to stop teaching it. I'll say, nope, I'm going to still teach it. You know, if somebody asks me about it, I'm going to tell them that it's a micro C-hip. And if the Spirit's on me to speak on it, I'm going to speak on it. And now if they say, okay, well, if you speak on it, we're going to kick you out of the school. You know what I would say? I would say, show me the door. There was a point where High Priest Ariel pulled me to the side. He said, you don't show your face like you're supposed to, because I was up in Connecticut a lot. And he said, you got to show your face more. Because I had been in school for a number of years. I'm an established teacher and all that. And, you know, he said, look, if you don't show your face, I'm going to take your, we're going to pull your rank. And you know what I told him? I said, go ahead, take my rank. I said, go, you can kick me out of school. I said, go ahead and take my rank. I said, I don't care, rank don't mean nothing. You know, I already had the truth. And he looked at me and he smiled. He said, just show your face a little bit more. Then I said, I will. And I did. You know? See, a lot of y'all that are in this truth, this circle, whether it be GMS or any other camp, a lot of y'all get new friends and you hang out with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's certain guys that are into this thing to hang out. They're like hangout Israelites. They don't.
Right. You got to get rid of that spirit. You got to make sure that you being honest. And if you're a leader, you have to be uncompromisable, if that's a word. Or you can't be compromised in any way. You know, and if you are, you got to make those adjustments to so you can basically give orders without regret. All right, and if brothers ain't performing, you got to make them perform. And if they don't perform, they gotta leave the camp. I mean, that's just what it is. All right, if they break something down wrong and they didn't know, especially with a simple breakdown, you got to chastise them and get them on an assignment, or you got to just remove them from the camp completely. Certain things are just too simple for you to fuck up. And if they mess up on something simple, you got to really eye those men. All right, because it could be something there. It could have been done on purpose. So you got to make sure that the brothers in your camp are up on the level. Now, I'll let them play one more time, and then we'll bring my last two scriptures out, and we'll close the lesson out.
With them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's certain guys that are into this thing to hang out. They're like hangout Israelites. They don't really grow in this thing, but they cool with other brothers. Those are not true men of the Lord. And I always bring out these two precepts. Peter made this statement, and Paul made this statement, that ye all show the same diligence. And Peter said that ye give diligence and make the call and election short. So in other words, when that circle of prophets or disciples or apostles and so forth, we're supposed to all be on the same level. Like if the apostle Paul comes with that fire, the next guy's supposed to come with that fire. You know, if you got guys that are consistently doing videos every day, you're supposed to be doing videos every day. And don't say, well, my job, you can do one video a day. You can do 1 or 2 10-minute videos, or 1 half-an-hour video. You ain't working 20 damn hours, where as soon as you go home, you fall asleep for 4 hours, you got to go back to work. You ain't no Mexican. Because the Mexicans, they work their asses off. He is hired. It says, for it is impossible for those who were once enlightened. So these are all you guys in the past that came into the truth. You got the garments with the fringes on it. You went out on the highways and the byways. And then all of a sudden you became disenchanted. You went back into the world. And these guys, believe it or not, they watch all our videos. All of you guys are going to take the charagma. Whether you know to take it or not, you're going to take the charagma, and you're going to stay in America, and you're going to be destroyed in America, in Babylon the Great, which is spiritual. Like I said, I was going to start saying this. America is spiritual Gehenna. Spiritual Gehenna. When Yahushua quoted the prophet Isaiah about where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched, he was talking about Gehenna, but he was actually talking about Babylon the Great being on fire like Gehenna is on fire. Where the fire is not quenched, Gehenna, the valley of Hinnom, where they threw dead animals, and the Israelites threw their babies in there, sacrificing their babies to Moloch and Chemosh. They said this right here is Gehenna. This is a 5,000 square mile Gehenna.
Right, Gaya Hanam, which means the valley of lamentation. Gaya is valley. Hanam means lamentation. So that fire pit of sacrifice was used to describe the destruction of Babylon, America. All right. So you fell out, and you were teaching, you believed. All right. You can't come back in. You have to be an extremely special person to to turn your back on the truth and then come back into the faith. But most of those guys, it's impossible for them to come back in. All right. Now, back on the false witness. Mark 14. Oh, I did that already. Acts 6 and 12. And they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes, and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council and set up false witnesses. So these are men that were already paid to say a certain thing. They were already ready, which said this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against the holy place and the law. For we have heard him say that Yahushua of Nazareth shall destroy this place and shall change the customs which Moses delivered unto us. And all that sat in council, looking steadfastly on him, saw his face as it had been the face of an angel. Oh, this is Stephen. All right. So, false witnesses. Let's look up false witness. Oh, two different words. Pseudo marturus or something like that. Martus. One who is a spectator of anything. All right. Those who after his example having, okay. So, false. So it says pseudes. Lying, deceitful. So a lying spectator. So they gave forth a lying thing that they saw or heard. So they lied. So they already have them set up. And they set up. Oh, let's go set up. We got hestume, cause to make stand, to fix or establish. Yeah, they put them in a certain position. All right, by way of money. Oh, to weigh money to one, because in the very early times before the introduction of coinage, the metals used to be weighed. Yeah, because they're gonna receive money. It means to fix or establish. But they put money in their pocket. Just a coincidence that it's there. All right, or it's convenient that it's there. All right. It doesn't mean the money directly, but to fix. they were put in a certain position, and they're lying. They're false witnesses. All right. So the apostle went into. They have received a scrip and a bag to clown the Israelites, and the apostles going into Israelites that fell out. I went into false witnesses. All right. So hope you edified. Shalom.